ridiculous. We should include everybody as long as they're respectful. So that guy is the most respectable guy I've ever heard or seen in a movie. So Shia LaBeouf has my respect.
Thanks for that.
Bam, there
you answered my question, definitely. I was just wondering what a normal dude from the barrio would think about this, who is obviously loves pop culture, and I felt the same way. So I'm glad that we all seem to be on the same page.
That's all I'm saying. Give the man a chance. Give my boy a chance.
At least watch it.
His whole body.
And now it's time for the weekly recommendations.
All right, James.
All right, so I got one. I'm not sure if I directed it already, but it's a series on Netflix right now. Not on Netflix right now, it's just on there. It is The Office.
Nice.
I have never seen The Office until probably maybe when I started watching it maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I've just been going little by little. Yeah. Little by little, going through the show. It is hilarious. I think I might have tried to watch it maybe a while ago, but I don't know if it's just that I was just in a bad mood or what. I just couldn't get into it. But I mean, this show is hilarious, and now I see why so many people liked it. Everybody, I mean, the cast is huge, and there's so many people that just show up randomly that are like huge stars now, who at the time when they were doing this weren't really that big. But yeah, The Office, check it out. It's hilarious. That's just the one.
Oh, great. Diego?
I have two. I recently, for the first time, just watched these two. One of them is, of course, we've wrecked it before, but is Jane Silent Bob Reboot, which was available on Amazon for free. I don't think it is anymore, but it's such a hilarious movie. Great cameos. Kevin Smith playing himself twice. It's so hilarious. I love the fact that they really touch the subject of what a reboot is and what a remake isn't.
How they go over it, yeah, it's funny.
And the fact that we got people from Clerks, people from Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Jersey Girl, like it makes reference to all of Kevin Smith's movies, and it's just awesome, man. I love Kevin Smith is at first I was very very conservative about Kevin Smith, and but he's grown as I've grown older. I've grown to love Kevin Smith, especially because I grew up with Dogma, I grew up with Mallrats and Chasing Amy, so I've grown to really love his work and everything he does, and the passion that he shows in his work, and the passion that he shows for comic books, which is also one of my favorite things to do and read. Yeah, so check it out, Jane Silent Bob. I think it's $3 on Amazon. It might be cheaper, or it might be for free. I don't know. I haven't checked Amazon in a minute, though. And another one, which is on Hulu, is called The Scout with Brendan Fraser. And I don't know if you guys have seen that before. He's a baseball player that plays in Mexico, and then he plays for the Yankees. And it's a pretty good movie. It's kind of cheesy, but what Brandon Fraser movies from the 90s is it? And so go check it out. It's on Hulu, The Scout, and Jane Silent Bob Reboot.
Nice.
Those are it.
Nice.
All right, so I have two as well. My first one is on HBO Max. It's called Flawless, and it is a Joel Schumacher film from also from I think 98. It's with Robert De Niro and Philip Seymour Hoffman. Basically, the story, to break it down for you guys really quick, Robert De Niro is kind of a homophobe. He lives in the in this apartment complex with a couple of known kind of drag queens, and he makes it very apparent that he's uncomfortable by them, and he ends up having a stroke, and he has to go through therapy, and one of the drag queens, who is Philip Seymour Hoffman's character, he agrees to help him do some voice, basically take singing lessons to allow him to start to talk again. So it's very interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's on HBO, you said?
Yeah, HBO Max. Well, both of them.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's a very pretty touching film. Obviously, those themes are still problems today, so I would definitely check it out. Top-notch performances all around for that one. And then another HBO Max, or something that's streaming on there right now, it's called Galveston, and it's with Ben Foster and Elle Fanning, who's always really good. And basically it takes place in Texas. Ben Foster is a hitman who gets set up, and this job kind of goes wrong, and he ends up saving Elle Fanning's character, and they go on the run, and it goes, the movie kind of goes off from there. It was written by the guy who did the True Detective seasons.
Oh, okay, nice.
So that'll put it into perspective for you what kind of movie you're getting. It's called Galveston.
Nice.
And yeah, very good film, streaming on HBO Max right now.
Sick.
Nice.
And with that, we can move into my focus for the week, if you guys are ready.
Yeah.
All right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now for the movie focus of the week.
All right, so this week we're talking about 8mm. I actually chose this. It's rated R. It's from 1999, which is one of the best years in film. Still to this day, you could fight me if you don't agree. It's a gritty crime thriller. It runs at 2 hours and 3 minutes, and it's got a very disappointing 22 somehow on Rotten.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The film is written by Andrew Kevin Walker, who actually wrote Seven, if you didn't know that. It's directed by Joel Schumacher, who's done a plethora of things: Lost Boys, the Batman, the classic Batman films.
Yeah.
Starring Nick Cage, James Gandolfini, Joaquin Phoenix, and Peter Stormare. The story centers around a PI who is tasked with uncovering the origins of a disturbing snuff film. Although this film was a financial success, it was critically panned back in '99, no doubt for its rough around the edges subject matter. However, director Joel Schumacher took a huge chance using a big studio like Columbia to spin a story centered around the grimy and depraved side of the pornography world. And in my opinion, the film is very effective for its willingness to stay grounded, avoiding cheap parlor tricks or misguided action scenes, and instead showing a normal male and fairly new father figure trying to navigate his way through toxic masculinity and the objectification of women, which is unfortunately something we are still dealing with some 20 years later. Thank you.
Dang, very nice.
Damn. All right.
Read a book or something.
You were practicing, huh?
So I'll start, since this is a crazy movie. I haven't seen this for a long time, I would say probably since it came out, and man, I had forgotten so much that goes on. And like I was telling you guys earlier, Nick Cage, he can do good stuff. I make fun of him a lot, but he's done some great films. You know what I mean? And,
yeah, like Con Air.
I think a lot of stuff that was pre-National Treasure is great. You know?
Oh yeah.
I feel like after National Treasure, he did National Treasure. You know, he started doing trying to appeal to families, and I just feel like that's not like gimme like weird face-off Cage. You know what I mean? Forever, I guess.
Dude, like
Yeah.
he could like he has a very diverse look for his stuff, but like you said, like he shouldn't be doing family films. That guy's for a rated R.
Yeah.
You know, that guy was made for rated R. Like his emotions and everything, like he would be great. I just think he's taken some roles that maybe it's sent him back, you know?
Yeah, like he needed a check or something, I guess.
Yeah. But dude, I don't know if you want to go, James. I could go.
I'll go. So I had never seen this movie. So I went in kind of, completely fresh. Never heard of it. So it was definitely new to me. Going in, it was refreshing, like you said, Wes. Kind of like to see Cage kind of just not be the guy who, like, who's kind of annoying now in all of his movies.
Yeah.
Or like his not his more recent ones, like Mandy, he was great in, and the more crazy ones that he's been doing are awesome. But like prior to that, in that little time span that you had talked about, he was kind of like, his movies are okay, but like he's kind of, it looks like he's kind of just going through the motions and then getting a check. But it was great to see him in this one. It was definitely I don't think I've seen him in a movie where he was so serious.
Yeah.
And it was refreshing, like I said, just to see him do that and be like, wow, like okay, he can actually act like he's good. And the story was, you could tell on some of the scenes where he's like, when he first watches the snuff film, and he's just like, oh, like when she gets stabbed, and he kind of like looks away and like, oh my god, and then he gets freaked out like a normal person would. It's he plays it really good, and then I really loved Joaquin in this as well. Like that kind of like grimy, like weirdo guy, but like he's not really bad. He's just like kind of in the working at a weird place, or he's working at a porn shop basically, or that's where he works at. Yeah. So he's kind of like, he's already seen as like some low life scumbag because he works there, and it just, they paint that when they were in LA, right? When they go to when he goes to see Joaquin Phoenix, and they paint that like dirty, gritty side of LA that like you would think of like back in the 90s, and what like LA was. So I really enjoyed this movie. I like from start to finish, I enjoyed every single part.
Nice. I'm glad, dude.
I never heard of this movie. Never even, not even remotely familiar. But this movie was amazing to me. I felt like Schumacher made this movie because to me, I don't know if you guys felt this, but I felt like this was like a Batman movie to me. Like it literally felt like it was like a detective.
Like Batman, like Bruce Wayne doing the detective work. Yeah. Like it literally felt that way to me, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like if this was like a Batman movie, like this would be so dope. This is just amazing. I was mesmerized by it. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like especially because it touches on a subject that a lot of people still to this day, like Wesley said, is taboo for a lot of people,
Yeah.
And it wasn't until maybe like last year where like girls were already coming out and saying like I do OnlyFans, or I do webcam, or I have a premium Snapchat, and for this it was like ahead of its time for what it was, and it also showed the griminess of what the